Hey guys, it's Chris at Highland Guitars. You're watching another one of my YouTube guitar building videos. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope that by the end of this video, I'll have earned your subscription. And of course, to everyone who's watching, if you enjoy this video or get something out of it, I would really appreciate a thumbs up because that's a great way to support this channel. It doesn't cost you any money. Nobody's going to spam your email, and you're not going to download any malware. It's a great way to tell YouTube you like the video, and then YouTube will promote the video, which means more people with similar interests are going to be able to watch the video. And as you're about to see in this particular episode, that's going to be really important. The more people who watch it, the more we learn. So what I want to talk about in today's video is a subject that's somewhat controversial. About a week or so ago, I had posted a YouTube short video where I showed off some abalone shells that I had purchased at a gem and mineral show here in Denver. And when I showed these shells in that video, several people asked in the comment section if I intended to make a video which explains how I process this material, which of course I would definitely like to do. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but it is something I would like to include on my channel. Other viewers watched the video and they posted comments warning me and the other viewers about the dangers of processing shell material. Well, I've been doing this for a lot of years, and I do take precautions when it comes to working with shell. However, after I watched that video and read some of those comments, I started to think, exactly how dangerous is the dust generated by processing shell material? I've heard about it for years, and I've always, like I said, taken the precautions to protect myself from the dust, just out of an abundance of caution. But in all honesty, I wasn't really sure exactly what those dangers are. And one of the viewers who commented mentioned that the dust generated from processing abalone shells is as dangerous as asbestos. Well, when I read that, I had to be somewhat skeptical because asbestos is one of the most dangerous substances that you can breathe in. It occurs naturally, or can occur naturally, but it can be extremely dangerous, and it causes all sorts of medical conditions. All that is well documented, to the point where 69 countries around the world have banned its use. And in other countries like the United States, where it is still in use, its use and mitigation is heavily regulated. But with regards to shell or abalone dust, there are no bans regarding its processing, nor can I find any regulations that control or govern how we process the material. So that kind of tells me it may not be as dangerous as asbestos. And I think that when you claim it's as dangerous as asbestos, without providing any sort of scientific research to back up the claim, it's nothing more than potential misinformation. So I decided that before I make a video where I talk about processing shells, I should do a little bit of research and find out exactly what we're talking about as far as the dangers. So what I did was I spent hours trying to find peer-reviewed scientific studies that would confirm or perhaps deny the hazards of working with shell dust. And after hours of searching, I could find nothing. I couldn't find any peer-reviewed scientific studies that say yes or no, shell dust is hazardous or dangerous. And furthermore, I couldn't find any information about when people say it's toxic or poisonous. I couldn't find any information about what exactly is in the dust that makes it toxic or poisonous to humans. In order for a substance to be toxic or poisonous, it must contain a chemical which is dangerous to humans. And when exploring or trying to find the information about what it is in shell dust, and I'm talking about abalone and mother of pearl and such, I simply couldn't find anything out there. And that may be because I'm not, the greatest Google investigator. I certainly did my due diligence and I tried every term that I could think of. Now, what I did find was a considerable amount of anecdotal information, articles that people have posted on the internet, in forums and on websites, which warns people of the dangers of using and processing shell and exposure to that dust. But not a single one of these articles included reference material that was linked to any kind of scientific studies that verify the claims that they were making. So it begs the question, just exactly how dangerous is the dust from processing shell material? We have to know. We have to know exactly what is in the dust that makes it dangerous or toxic or poisonous to humans. We also have to know what the level of exposure is that would be considered dangerous. And the reason we have to know these the details is because that's what we use to determine exactly how to protect ourselves. Just the idea that you might use a dust mask and dust extraction system, or you may use, you may immerse your shell into water before cutting it. That may not be enough because we really don't know what exactly is the danger here. We're just guessing. So if we want to really protect ourselves effectively against the dangers of shell dust, we have to know what those toxins and poisons are and the volume of exposure that is considered dangerous. And that's what I'm hoping some of you out there watching might be able to provide. If you know where to find links to this information. And again, it has to be a peer-reviewed scientific study. It can't be some article on a website somewhere or someone's forum post. It has to be something that is concrete scientific evidence. Otherwise, it's meaningless. It's an opinion. And in order to choose the right kind of dust mask and the right kind of dust extraction system, we've got to know what we're dealing with. And maybe it's we've been overreacting. I know that reading some of the articles on the impact of shell and abalone dust seem to indicate that it's not as toxic as we might have thought it was. And the volume of exposure has to be pretty high. As I was doing my research, I thought, maybe I need to look at medical case studies, people who've been exposed and contracted illness as a result of shell dust. But as I did the research and tried to find case studies where people have been diagnosed with these issues, I could find nothing. Now, in some of the anecdotal articles, they mentioned that exposure to shell dust could cause what's known as silicosis, which is a potentially fatal lung disease. I could find no evidence of people having been exposed to silicosis as a result of processing shell material. Now, if such information is out there and I'm just not finding it, please post it in the links down below, and that will become part of the video that I'm going to make when I talk about processing shell. I did come across one story where a woman was diagnosed with silicosis as a result of her exposure to shell material. And you may find that story as well. However, in this particular instance, the woman who was diagnosed with silicosis was 70 years of age. And she wasn't breathing in the shell dust directly. She was consuming a dietary supplement which contains freshwater shell dust. And she'd been consuming this product for 40 years. So I don't really think that that applies to breathing in the dust from cutting, grinding, carving, and sanding the shell material. So if you know of any studies out there, or are willing to spend some time doing some research and are really good at it and can maybe find some of this research, I would greatly appreciate it if you would post links down below. And then like I said, I can include it in a video where I talk about processing this. I don't process shell on a daily basis or a weekly or monthly basis. I maybe do some shell once a year, and just for a few hours. So my exposure is extremely limited, and it may not be sufficient enough to cause any issues. You know, because here I am at 60 years of age, and I still run 5 miles a day and occasionally train for marathons and haven't had any issues with my lungs breathing after exposure over the years to abalone dust. But I definitely want to be able to provide accurate and effective information when I do post a video on this subject. So I hope you found this video to be useful, and I certainly hope that some of you out there will be willing to chime in and offer some potential research that is of value on this subject. And if you did like the video, of course, as always, give it a thumbs up like I said in the beginning. And if you're new to the channel, again, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing, because I do a lot of great videos on making guitars, some of which can be applied to repairing guitars as well. So a wide range of subjects. And until the next episode, as always, take care and stay safe, and I hope you'll be back for future episodes.